ESC kids, welcome to our story party. My name is Tabby and I'm excited to be here with you today. Let's go. Okay, you guys, so I saw something like kind of funny this week. I couldn't really figure out what exactly it was, but I'm gonna show you. Have you ever built a house? I haven't either, but I saw a house and I wanna show you that picture. You see what I mean? I can't quite figure out what's wrong, but it looks like the builders did not really have a plan when they were making it. But today, we are gonna look at a story of a girl named Esther in the Bible, and that no matter what, we can always trust God's plan. But first, we've got a game, so come with me. All right, guys, so we've got our game. This is my favorite person, Ted, and I brought him to help us with our game. So I'm going to give him some clues to some things that are kind of like out of control crazy, and he's gotta guess what they are. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, so the first one is kind of like when you wake up in the morning and something on top of your head just doesn't look kind of right. It just looks all messy.
Like alfalfa?
Kind of like that, but just like all the hairs on your head.
Like a hot mess?
Just, yeah, like out of control hair. I'll give that one to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the next one is something outside.
Okay.
Think outside. Think like something that spins. Something that like maybe when there's a storm. You guys guess what it is?
Like a tornado?
Yes! Nice job. That's number 2. Okay, here's the next one. This is something out of control that I kind of like. You go to a park and you actually like sit down in something and it goes like down and up and all around and upside down and just all kinds of crazy stuff.
Big me.
Yes.
A roller coaster.
You got it. Nice. 2 more. Okay, this one, you guys see if you can get it before he does. This is something that's on TV, and it's about a little bear. And
Thirsty bears.
No, try again.
Oh, I was gonna say Daniel Tiger, but he's a tiger.
But it's about a bear and his friends, and they like start to like, the wind just like blows them away. It's really crazy.
Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, and
I've only seen Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree.
And the blustery day. I hope you guys got it. The blustery day. Okay, our last one is something that you eat. Okay?
Pizza.
It has lots of bread.
Pizza.
And like maybe chicken and pickles and tomatoes and maybe some olives. Some pizza could be in it too. Salami, macaroni and cheese. Come on. Does anyone know what this is?
Pizza.
It's a 20-layer sandwich. What do you think?
I would never
Gotcha. I got you on that one. So you guys, sometimes there's things in our life that seem crazy, that seem out of control, that we're not able to control, but we know someone who is in control. And so we're gonna look and see as Queen Esther experiences something that's out of her control. So come take a look.
King Azuris was the king of Persia. Many years earlier, when Cyrus was king, he sent some of God's people back to Judah to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. Some of God's people stayed in Persia. God's people were called Jews because they were from Judah. The king of Persia chose Esther to be his queen. Esther didn't tell the king that she was a Jew. One day, Mordecai heard that Haman, an important leader who worked for the king, was planning to kill all the Jews. Mordecai was upset. He was a Jew. He didn't want all the people he loved to be killed. Mordecai and all the Jews cried. Esther didn't know what was wrong. She sent a messenger to ask Mordecai why all the Jews were upset. Mordecai told Esther about Haman's evil plan. "You have to do something," Mordecai said. "Ask the king to stop Haman. Ask him to save the Jewish people." Esther sent a message back to Mordecai. "No one can approach the king unless the king calls for that person first," Esther said. "The punishment is death. Unless the king holds out his scepter, then you may live." "You're a Jew," Mordecai said. "If you don't stop Haman, he will kill you too. Maybe this is why you are the queen. Maybe God put Esther in the palace to save her people." Esther asked Mordecai and the Jews to fast for 3 days. Then Esther would go to the king, even if it meant she might die. On the third day, Esther went to the king. He saw Esther and held out his golden scepter. "What is it, Queen Esther?" the king asked. "What do you want to ask me? I'll give you anything, up to half of my kingdom." Esther said, "Would you and Haman come to a feast today?" So Haman and the king went to Esther's feast. After eating, the king said, "What do you want, Queen Esther? I'll give you anything, up to half of my kingdom." "Come to my feast tomorrow," Esther said. The king agreed. The next day, Haman and the king went to Esther's feast. After eating, the king said, "What do you want, Queen Esther? I'll give you anything, up to half my kingdom." Esther spoke up. "There is a plan to kill me and my people." The king replied, "Who is responsible for this plan?" "This evil enemy, Haman," Esther said. The king was angry. He punished Haman and made a law to keep the Jewish people safe from their enemies. God was in control over Haman's evil plan to destroy the Jews. Like Haman, Satan wants to ruin God's plan and destroy believers. Satan thought he had won when Jesus died on the cross, but God raised Jesus from the dead and defeated Satan once and for all. All who believe in Jesus are rescued from sin and death.
You guys, that was a crazy story, like totally out of control, but Esther stepped up and did what she was called to do. There are things that seem out of control, like we just don't know what to do, but we can always trust that God has a plan, and we can always trust in that. And I want to read to you from the story of Esther, because Esther went to the king and she asked for the king to save her. So this is what it says in Esther. "So the king and Haman went to dine with Queen Esther. And as they were drinking on that second day, the king asked again, 'Queen Esther, what is your petition? It will be given to you. What is your request?' 'Even up to half the kingdom will be granted.' Then Queen Esther answered, 'If I have found favor with you, O king, and if it pleases your majesty, grant me my life. This is my petition, and spare my people. This is my request.'" Sometimes it takes boldness and sometimes it takes bravery to do what God asks us to do. But I love that we can always trust his plan because he knows what's good and he knows what's best for us. And so when we trust God's plan, we know that he has the best for us.
Anything can happen, can't hardly wait to see what's next. I wanna face this world with wonder and excitement, face every challenge every day. I'm gonna follow, I'm trusting you, God, you are God. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God, you are God. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God, you are God. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God, you are God. I'm trusting you, God, you are good. I'm trusting you, God, you are good.
Thank you guys for joining us for our story party today. I hope that you had fun. And this week, when you feel like there's something that's crazy or out of control, stop and ask God what His plan is and how you can trust Him in that situation. We will see you again next week for our story party.